Well, hey guys, back at you again, and this is going to be a movie review this time. And since it's the month of October, I'm going to be reviewing everything that's going to be Halloween related. Not necessarily always horror, but anything Halloween related. And if you have any requests that you want me to review something, feel free to let me know, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. And this review is going to be on the new film Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, directed by Tim Burton once again, and I'm a big fan of the original Beetlejuice, as you can see by my t-shirt here. I have another one that's just of Michael Keaton just sitting there, which is a very nice t-shirt. This is a nice one too. I've had this one the longest. So yeah, I grew up with the original Beetlejuice. I'm going to give a little bit of background with the first one before I get into the plot and everything about the new one. But yeah, I know there was a cartoon show. I didn't see it. So for those who have, feel free to let me know what you think of it. I never saw it. I know the 20th anniversary DVD that I have of it has a couple of episodes of it as an extra feature. I'll have to give that a look sometime. But anyway, yeah, I grew up with the first one. I saw it a ton of times. And I love it. It's still one of my favorite, Halloween-themed movies. It's definitely one of Tim Burton's best movies, in my opinion, and it's up there with Edward Scissorhands, Sleepy Hollow. Was another one he did. Sweeney Todd's another good one. And I mean, he didn't direct it, but The Nightmare Before Christmas is another classic, of course. So yeah, it's always been a great classic movie, great cast. Michael Keaton's great, of course, and very funny, great special effects, cool looking creatures in the afterlife and everything. So I grew up with that quite a bit, actually, ever since when I was a kid. I've loved it, and there were rumors for a lot of years saying that there was going to be doing a second one, but they never did it until recently. And now it's finally out, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. So basically what happens is that it's many years later, and what happens is that Lydia's father Charles ends up dying, and so her and her mom and her estranged daughter, Astrid, basically all get together for the funeral for Charles, and they go back to the house that Lydia and her father and stepmother lived in for a while. And what happens is that Astrid ends up accidentally opening the door to the afterlife, and then Lydia finds out what has happened, and she basically has to call Beetlejuice for help, and he agrees to help her and bring her back to the real world, and that's basically the whole plot line of the movie. And I really enjoyed the sequel quite a bit, actually. I think it was great. I would say that it's one of the best movies of the year so far. I know we've got a little more left until the end of the year, but that's just my honest opinion. It came out last month. I saw it, but I figured why not wait until October to talk about it, because I figured to just save the review only because of it being October. At the time I saw it, I was thinking, why don't I just, wait and talk about it until October, because, what more, can I do than to, save it for spooky season. So, and yeah, you have a lot of people do come back. Michael Keaton, of course, reprises his role as Beetlejuice, thankfully, and he does a great job once again. Very funny. He has a great sense of humor and everything, just like he did in the first movie. Winona Ryder comes back as Lydia when she's an adult, and she does great too. It's nice to see her again, and you don't really see her in that much movies anymore, so it's a good thing that we see her come back. And Catherine O'Hara returns as Lydia's stepmom, and she's good too. Still, a little a little crazy, but she's still good. I always liked her like in the first movie, and Jeffrey Jones is not in this movie, who plays Charles. There's actually a little bit more of a reason why the character got killed off, and for those who don't know, he's actually a convicted sex offender, um, which I was actually very surprised by that. I didn't even know that until recently, so that's why he didn't come back, which is good because, I wouldn't want his ass back either if I was the director. And I don't blame, Tim Burton for not wanting to put up with him. And so kudos to Tim Burton for not allowing that pervert back into the movie. Um, and yeah, it was very good. Very good music, very good pace. Danny Elfman did the music yet again, which is great because he did great music for the first movie, and he always does great music for any movie that he composes music for, whether it be the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, a whole bunch of stuff. He's always great, and there's also like new characters in there too. Like William Dafoe plays like a dead guy in the underworld, like who's a cop and who was also like a big Hollywood star who was like an action hero stuntman guy and everything, looking for Beetlejuice, and that was cool to see him as like a different type of role. And Danny DeVito is in there, like he's like another dead guy who's basically like a janitor and everything, so that was pretty cool to see him in there. And there was rumors that Johnny Depp was going to be in there, but that didn't end up happening, unfortunately. It would have been nice to see Johnny Depp in there, but yeah. And also Otho, the actor that played Otho, he's not in here either because he sadly passed away years ago. It would have been cool to see him come back and be in this movie, but unfortunately that didn't happen. He got taken away from us too soon, unfortunately, years ago. For those who don't know, that's what happened. So yeah, that was very, very sad. And I think that the story was very good, and I know like some people have like mixed feelings about it. Like a lot of people say that how like the plot was very schizophrenic. Thinking that people were saying and believing that the movie plot was like all over the place. That how like it jumbled a whole bunch of stuff at once. Like you got the stuff with Charles dying, and you got the estranged relationship with Astrid and Lydia, and you also have the boyfriend that Lydia has that's kind of a weirdo, and proposes to her on the death of her. I mean, the funeral of her father, which was very weird to do that. I mean, why would you want to do that? I don't know, but and there's also like stuff that happens, like Beetlejuice's wife from many years ago has come back and it wants to basically hunt him down and everything. So that's happening. But I'm not gonna get too much in depth with that because I'm not gonna ruin it for you. But I'm not gonna say what happens. But I'm just saying like those are like the subplots that like a lot of people were saying. It's just all over the place. It couldn't focus on which one it wanted to focus on. It didn't bother me. I know, to each their own, but if it bothers you, then, it bothers you. But me personally, it didn't bother me in the slightest. I just had a great time. It brought back, nostalgia for the first film, and, like they used the same house, and I thought that was cool. And the way that Michael Keaton delivered his lines was just as good as it was in the first movie. And I also want to say that, no, Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin do not reprise their roles in this movie. They did explain why they didn't, why they're not around, but you'll have to see the movie in order to find that out, because I'm not going to spoil it for you, because I don't want to ruin it. So go see the movie if you want to learn more information about that. And Sorry if you hear a noise going off in the background. That's my phone. I got like a message or something. But anyway, I think that um, it was it was kind of understandable why we don't see them because it's been so many years. And Tim Burton even said that he wanted to do something different and not focus on them, which I respect that because like some people like would have been like, hey, what the hell, like this is just like a remake of the first movie. They didn't do that. I appreciate that. And very good special effects. I think that the effects were done very well. A lot of practical effects and also obviously CG effects. Not all CG effects, but you can tell that most of them were practical. But some of it was CG because obviously as time has progressed since the last movie, technology has built quite a bit when it comes to Hollywood movies and everything with the special effects and stuff like that. And a lot of people hate CGI. I don't care about CGI. I love it because it's entertainment. I know some people might say, it doesn't look all that great, blah, blah, blah. But to me, it works fine. And I didn't mind seeing it in this, and I appreciated that it wasn't like just all CGI. But even if it was CGI, I wouldn't have minded. I know I just said, like I wish that I appreciated that it wasn't all CGI, but even if it was, I wouldn't really care. But I appreciate that they went back to their roots and to do practical effects and everything. And there's a lot of like Easter eggs here and there, which were very fun to see. The movie was very funny. New interesting characters. And I think that the chemistry with Winona Ryder and Michael Keaton and Jenna Ortega, who plays Astrid, they all work very well together. And Jenna Ortega is amazing. She's from Scream 5 and 6, Wednesday, which I have not yet seen, which Tim Burton's involved with that, so it makes sense that, that she's in this movie. And basically, Michael Keaton said that how like she was pretty much born to be a part of this movie, and I agree with him on that because she has the look, and because of reputation of doing Scream 5 and 6 and Wednesday, I think that she has a pretty good career ahead of her, and she's like the newest Winona Ryder, if you ask me. Like she has like that gothic look that Winona Ryder had in the first movie. And there's also like other stuff that's going on too with Lydia. Like you find out what's going on and how like she's pretty much like a person that talks to ghosts, and she has her own reality show, and the daughter is thinking that she's a bullshit artist and stuff like that, which is interesting. And, her father's not around because he passed away and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into any detail about that, but that was interesting to see. And, it's definitely like realistic how like a parent and a child can like be estranged and stuff like that. It's not always a good thing to see in movies or in real life, but stuff happens. But I think that everything in the movie worked perfectly well. The story made sense. It went at a good pace. It was funny. Very spooky. Great for spooky season. I wouldn't necessarily call it scary. It'll be scary for little kids. Yeah, absolutely. Don't show the little kids this because it might scare them just like the original. But it's good for like older kids like 11, 12, and up. Like that's just my opinion. If your kid's able to handle it, any age, under that, good on you. But yeah, I think it's a great time. If you love the first one, definitely go see it. If they come out with a third one, I'll definitely be going to go see it. I don't know if they'll be doing a third one, but hopefully they will. And this movie made a shit ton of money. It's #1 at the box office. It's doing amazing. And eventually it'll be on streaming, and it'll be getting a physical media release. So I'll definitely be grabbing that at some point. I don't know when, but it'll definitely be at some point in the near future. And if you guys haven't haven't seen it yet, please go see it. Let me know what you thought of it down below. Do you love the first one more? Do you love the new one more? Do you like the show more? Whatever the case may be, let me know, and I'd love to hear you guys' opinions about the movie, the first movie, the show, whatever it is. Let me know, and I'd love to hear from you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a terrific Halloween. Keep watching creepy, scary movies for the month of October, and I'll see you guys in the next video. The juice is loose.